Okay, Rabbi Shai, we're here on the Amud HaYomi, Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Beis. We're a little bit behind today. We're going to have to make a catch up due to technical difficulties. So, Mr. Shem, we're going to do a daf. Yeah, I'm going to fly. You guys ready? You holding on? You hold on? Okay. Yeah, that's where we are. Kol Yoshe B'Tainis. Kol Yoshe B'Tainis B'Shabbos. If a person, now usually we don't do this, but the halacha says, and we'll see why in a minute, that if a person has we're talking here where a person had Lorelenu, a bad dream, and because of the bad dream, he feels the necessity to fast on Shabbos. So this is tremendous power. Now I don't think it's only on Shabbos. I think any time he fasts, makes a fast is a result of a bad dream. So koyin like zardinoi shoshim shane, this will rip up the gzeira, even a gzeira of shivim shana, even the very strong gzeira for many years. V'afal pikein. Now, even though that's so obviously it's the correct thing to do, but he still did something wrong by, in other words, this was what he had to do. He was right for doing it. But he still has a cheshbon he has to make up that he missed Oynik Shabbos. We never want to miss Oynik Shabbos. This is as we know, Grace Avoida. So what do you do to rectify that? So interesting, what he has to do is, Rashi says, tomorrow, on Sunday, I don't know if it's Dafka on Sunday, but it sounds like Kipshuta and Rashi. I think the halacha allows for maybe a different day also. But you have to make do another fast in order to be mitaken and rectify the fast. So leisiv tainisa lit tainisa. Amar Abelazar Chana hiticha devarim klapi malda. It's an expression that she pushed things klapi malda. Chana was very aggressive in her tefillos, and she demanded things klapi malda. Shenem v'tzpala shem malda. She ticha devarim klapi malda. It's an expression that she pushed her things up in Klape Hashem. Elio also, we'll see in a second, also did the same thing. He also made very demands about Kadosh Baruch Hu and Tefillah. That's what the pasuk says. That this is by Elio. He blamed it on the Shem. In other words, he was a little bit kabiyachol like mechutzav to Hashem. He says, "You Hashem, you made this, you caused this problem." Amar Rab Shmuel, he was dealing with trying to give him people from Vadazar. We'll see in a second. Amar Shmuel Yitzchak minayin shechaz Hakadosh Baruch Hu l'hoyd l'niyel. Where do you see that Hakadosh Baruch Hu actually agreed? You see, Asher Yosi. He says, "What I made bad, yeah, I'm the one. It's my fault. Ani garamti. I caused it. That I made the Yetzer Hara." If it wouldn't be for these, we're going to three examples in the psukim where it's again, this is an expression that the ragleim of those that hate Yisrael, but that's just it's just an expression. It means that the Jewish people themselves would collapse if it weren't for these following pasuk. One of them, as we just said, the Rebbeinu Shem takes responsibility. Asher Herioisi, I am the one that caused the evil. So Kadosh Baruch Hu takes responsibility. Similarly, that when we do Averis, it's Hashem is the one who creates the Yetzer Hara. It's beyond Hashem is the creator. We're just clay in the hands of Hashem. Kenata biyad Beis Yisrael. That Hashem la'asid lavo, in the future we'll have the Geula. He'll remove the leva even from our hearts, and it'll make our hearts able to see the good. But until then, it's Hashem that really causes the problem. So therefore, because of that, Hashem takes some responsibility off of us and says, "Okay, the reason why we're doing Averis is because what Hashem caused." Papa is a similar pasuk. Pasuk says, "Ruchi etim bekircha sisa shebechuki Okay, so it's just again, it's I put into you. I put this Yetzer Hara into you. So again, Moshe was mechutzav with Hashem. He says, "Vayspal Moshe Hashem, al tikri el Hashem, el Hashem." He davened on Hashem. He pushed Hashem. The shekain to be blood amikorin, the alpen einin ulayin alpen. You could say el Hashem. You could say al Hashem. You know, he had to hear. You know, he blamed Hashem. Also, see in a moment for the avera, the big chet ha'egel of Klaisel. To be amri mihacha. A similar source. It says v'dizov. This is the pasuk in Dvarim. It says v'dizov. My v'dizov. What does it mean v'dizov? Amad b'miani kacham l'kodesh b'tkodesh b'shem b'shvil kesef izov yishpatalim. Why did they do the Yisrael? Who go egel? What? In other words, you know, if they didn't have so much gold, they wouldn't have done the egel. You know, they had all this extra gold on their hands, and then the Yetzer Hara got them, and they used it to create an egel. But it's really who brought them all the gold is Hashem. So Hashem's also responsible. In other words, that's what expression we say that the lion doesn't rebel, doesn't when he gets bare minimum. It's only when he gets tuch when he gets fully satiated, so then he gets like overconfident, and he's dangerous. He had a big cow. It was a weak cow, and he and it was like limbs, like it was like there's a lot of skin and bones. And then once he started feeding it, a lot of good oats, good food, that's when it started to rebel, start to kick him. It's really because I gave you too much. Sometimes when a person has too much, so then he doesn't appreciate what he has, and he starts to rebel. He had a son, and he spoiled the child. And he gave him a lot of food. And he gave him money. And he put him in the wrong place. The dangerous place. So you can't blame the son, the child, for doing the vera. Second, how's this go again? 1 second. Mole krise is only bishe. Filling the stomach is one of the is really sustaining him with evil. That itself is evil. I think that's the touch. Shneimar, like the pasuk says, kimarisam. Like when you're evil, v'yizboyu. The savoyu, they became satiated, v'yaram libam, and that's when they picked up their heart. Akein shichuchuni. That's when they forgot Hashem. You lift up your heart when you have too much and you become haughty. So then you start to forget Hashem. Also, again, became satiated and full, and then they turned away from Hashem. That the Jewish people became fat, and they rebelled against Hashem. The case of Hashem also says, yeah, it's all the kesef that I gave you, and yeah. It was the pasuk says, go down. This is all speaking by the Egel, by Arsina after he broke the luchos. You now have to go down from your greatness. Your greatness was because the Jewish people. So you lose your greatness. So why you? Moshe came very weak. He didn't have strength to speak. And he said, I'm going to destroy the Jewish people. So then he understood that when Hashem said, you back off me. So he understood that it's totally in him. Once he saw, I see Hashem is giving me a hint that it's really up to me to go out there and to try to convince Hashem. The king got angry with his son. Now, the friend of the king is sitting in the Yoshev, but he's afraid of the king. And the king says to his son, you're lucky, my friend is here, otherwise I would have killed you. So once he heard that, once the friend that was there told him, be Yad Amad Vitzilu. Pasuk says, I will destroy Achelim, I will destroy the Jewish people. I'll make you. We would never believe such words. Because the first part of the pasuk says Hashem saying to Moshe, "Hanicholi, let me go." What do you mean, let me go? That means the pasuk is telling us that Moshe grabbed the Shekadosh Baruch Hu. I'm not leaving you until you forgive them. Pasuk says, "I make you a great nation." What's the answer? Hashem says to Moshe, "Listen. The Jewish people sin. I'm going to make you replace the Jewish people." So Moshe answers him back, and he says, "No, listen. A chair that has 3 legs, which means the Av, Avritz of Yaakov, the 3 Avos. But when you get angry, you can't stand. So now you're going to make a whole nation of Regel Echad, built on me and one person. How can I go back and look at my fathers, the Avos, Amnitzav Yaakov, look at the leader they put, Bikish Gedula, that's what he took advantage, he became the leader himself. That Moshe is davening to Hashem, that he davened until Hashem heard his tefillas, until he took back. So he left him, took back the sorry, 1 second. Yeah, Rav until he was made for the neder, until he uprooted the neder. So one end it says Vayachal, then another place it says in the Torah. How do we know that he uprooted the neder? Because the pasuk says by a neder, when a person says a neder, L'yachal dvar, he can't desecrate his words. L'yachal dvar. Someone else can remove the neder. Moshe Rabbeinu was willing to give up his life. Erase me from your sefer. He brought upon them rachamim. It's a desecration to do this. It's chulin. You're being mechalal. Vayachal Moshe b'nei Hashem. Tanya Reb Lezer Agoda Omer Malamisha Omad Moshe b'tefillah Hakadosh Baruch Hu ad she'ochzu achiloi. That Moshe stood in tefillah until he was sick, until he was taken over by this illness. My achila, what illness is it? It's like the burning of the bones. The garments. We say again, it's also fire of the bones. Pasuk says, remember the Avos, my boch. What is it? What do you mean in you? If you would have made a shvur to them, I swear by the existence of the world, then I would say, listen, maybe, then you maybe there's a limit how much you have to honor such a oath. The Shem Hashem is Kayim Lo'ilam. The Shem Hashem is Kayim Lo'ilam. Kach Shvuasa Kayemes Lo'ilam. Olami Olamim. V'tabi Aleim Abbe Zalach Nikrefi Hashemayim. Pasuk says, that I'm going to make your children like the stars. It should say that which you said. What do you mean I said? So no, here it's Ad Kan Divri Talmud. It is Moshe speaking. Moshe was speaking, and Moshe is saying, "Listen, you said you're going to make. You said you promised the others you're going to make their children like the Koch Shamayim. So, Vikan ve'elech divrei Rav. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu starts speaking. Called Oretz Hashem Hashemarti that I said. It's not Moshe speaking to Hashem. Now Hashem is speaking. No, it's Moshe. Elakach Moshe HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'nei Shalom. V'olim Shamarti li. You should say those words that you said to me. You should say to Yisrael b'shmi halachti v'amalti lem b'shimcha. As much as you listen, you told me when you told me the Dvarim Shema, you said lech. You told me in Shemais. We learned in the pasuk. It says Hashem says to Moshe, "Go tell the Jewish people that I'm here to save. I'm going to redeem them." And b'shmi, the Eker the pasuk says. So that. I told them, so that's why it says, Asher Amarti. He's referring now that he's that which I also. He's introducing a second point. He's saying he's introducing also that promise I gave the Jewish people that I'm going to bring them to Yisrael that I said in your name. So how can I go back and tell them that? How can you destroy them? They're going to say, this is one of the timeless prayer, that you're going to say the reason why Hashem wiped out the Jewish people because he didn't have the ability to bring them to Yisrael. Now, what's Yichaylis, me boy? What's the feminine usage over here? It's a remez that you're unable to bring them in. It's a weakness. Like a woman, like a female, and you can't save them. Why is anyone going to say that? They saw the miracles I did on the Yam. So that was Paro. That was one king, but all the kings of Eretz Yisrael, of Canaan, the 31 kings. Maybe he can't stand up to 31 kings. Cain Ashrei Talmud. Okay, you're right. The guy who's going to say that, so I agree. And we say on this, Ashrei Talmud Shira, we're praised as a Talmud who's Rabbi's might of Ulam Chayani. You gave me life like with your words. We have a rule in Tefillah that a person first praises Hashem, and once he finishes praising Hashem, then he's mispala. Like we find in the pasuk that Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm going to be mischanin al Hashem. I'm going to praise Hashem. He says all the praises of Hashem. Then he's begging Hashem. Hashem is begging Hashem. But first he gives all the praises. It's your greatness. And then afterwards he gives the bakasha. He gives his pleas, and he says, let me come and pass through and see Eretz Yisrael. Amud Beis. Rabbi said we're in Lamed Beis, Amud Beis. Omer Abelazar Gedoyle Tefillah Yosef and Ma'asim Tovim. Tefillah is greater than even good deeds. Who had the greatest person that lived was Moshe Rabbeinu. But he was only answered with tefillah al toisiv dabar alai v'samichlei alei Rosh Piska. In other words, it's interesting. Even though he didn't go into Eretz Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does answer his tefillahs to some extent, and he says, "Go up and look at Eretz Yisrael. Go up to the mountain and look." Fasting is greater than giving tzedakah. My time is a logic. This you're actually doing with your body. Let's see something here. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Weiter. Sagt die Gemara. Sorry, where are we here? Tefillah is greater than Kabbalah. Pasuk says, the Navi says, why do we need all your kabbanos? When you spread out your palms, you spread out your palms in tefillah, then Hashem is going to listen to you. Another, this is V'layisa's kappa. We're talking about kapechem. So we speak of kohen who kills, so he's not allowed to give the bracha because kohanim the duchen shnema yedechem domim mali. Your hands are full of blood. From the day the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, so now the tefillahs are blocked from going up. The tefillahs are not the same. My tefillah is not accepted. But even though the gates of tefillah are closed, share dima, the gates of tears are loinela. When we really daven with our heart, with tears, so Hashem l'shenemar shma tefilasi Hashem v'shavasi ezinu el dimasi, that you will listen and you will you pay attention to my tears. Al techrash. You won't be silent. Rav Logazer Tanisa b'yoyim de'eva. Rav had a rule: don't fast on a cloudy day. It's a bad sign. It's a cloudy day. It's not a time to go for tefillah. It shouldn't be a day of tefillah of tinus on a cloudy day. From when the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, so there's a wall of metal between Yisrael and Yerushalayim. Anyone who's marich in his tefillah will not be go back empty. Hashem listens. Now again, it says, so Moshe was marich. He kept asking again, and eventually Hashem listened to him. In fact, the Gemara, it's not true. So Rabbi Yochanan says that a person who's marich, he keeps asking, he's marich more and more, and he's ma'ayin, and he focuses and concentrates on it, and he is in the end, he's going to be broken. He's going to be disappointed. My takanta yasik b'Torah. In order to heal himself from this pain, he should learn Torah. But the point is, we see that why is he broken? Because you can't expect all your tefillahs to be answered. Sometimes Hashem has his cheshbon, he doesn't answer his tefillahs. So being marich in tefillah and asking too much, it's just going to be disappointment. So why does it say call marich in tefillah? He's not going to be disappointed. He's not going to be chazes reikam. It's a contradiction. So lo kasha. So if you pay attention to the way it was said, there's a difference. When you're ma'ayich and you're ma'ayin, you're expecting. If you're expecting, you're ma'ayin, you're looking and looking and looking. When's my tefillah going to be answered? That's going to bring disappointment. But if you won't expect, that will not. Person sees that he wasn't answered, should daven again. Kaveh Hashem chazek v'yamatz lipecha v'kaveh Hashem again. Kaveh Hashem and Kaveh Hashem. I don't remember who says this, but some of them before explain. What do you mean you daven again? How can you daven again? What's the pshat? So some learn the pshat is that's why we have Chatzer Strauss. If you focus on the Chatzer Strauss and Tefillah B'tzibur again, so then if your tefillah is not answered the first time, it'll be answered with the Koyach HaTzibur. Talking about an arba tzichun chizik. 4 need chizik. There's certain things that constantly need to be strengthened. We constantly have to look for different ways and ideas how to strengthen the following 4 things. Elohein Torah, it's always nisyanis to learn, to constantly be focused on learning Ma'asim Tovim, doing the right thing. Tefillah and derech eretz. We'll see what that means. Torah Ma'asim Tovim minayin shenem rak chazek v'ametz boy lishma. So that's both. That's talking about velasses. Rak chazek was lishma velasses. Kol Torah, chazek b'Torah b'ametz Ma'asim Tovim. So that proves Torah Ma'asim Tovim. Tefillah minayin kavel Hashem chazak. No v'yametz. And here, strengthen yourself. It's not enough just to kavel Hashem. You have to strengthen yourself with the kavel Hashem. Derech eretz minayin chazak v'nischazek ba'adi monu. So here it says again, chazek v'nischazek ba'adi monu. So the Rashi learns pshat. This is saying if whatever a person's profession is, whatever uman he is, whether he's a professional or whatever Hashem brought his derech eretz to be, or even if he's a warrior, he has to chazak v'nischazek ba'adi monu. So the pasuk's talking about a warrior. I think it's talking about a warrior in the pasuk, but it seems anything. The rule is in derech eretz. Also, everything in life needs strength. In other words, that's the way the Hashem gives us nisyanis, and we have to know that we may fall and we won't succeed every time, but we have to always be mischazik and keep going. That's the way. That's the natural way of things, and these are all the 4 things above required constantly. Even though we fall, we have to re-strengthen ourselves and keep going. But timer sioin zavani Hashem Hashem. That Hashem left us and Hashem forgot us. That's what the Tzion Eretz Yisrael says. Yishalayim says Hashem forgot us. Hashem left us. So if we want to kasha, so what's the difference if I left you or I forgot you? Isn't that the same thing? The Jewish people say Bani Shalom. Adam person marries a second wife. He marries an additional wife and his first wife. He remembers the first. But now you forgot us. You left us and forgot us. Or you took the goyim. You left us, and also you forgot us. It's not true. The Kodesh Baruch Hu shows how much he did for the Jewish people. Yud Beis Mazala is for us. He created all. In other words, basically, all the hashkacha and all the system of the world. It's all created. And we have to know what this Gemara means exactly. It's a very complicated Gemara, but we're going to see. He's going to list now all the different koiches and mazalas in the world, and the stars, all the constellation, the 12 stars, Barasi Berkia. Now, in each star, these represent some type of koiches, some malachim or something, whatever is 30 soldiers, on each group of 30 soldiers, there's 30, other officers, that there's another officer, 30 on each 30, there's 30. And each of those 30, the 30 there's Kartin. There's a higher. There's another officer. Kartin the Kartin Gistava. Alfe now that's 365. It's 10,000 times 10,000 is 10 million. Kilo 365 times 10 million. Kochavim keneged yimaisachama. So it's if you do the math, it goes up to quad. It's more than trillions. It's like quadrillions or something. It's like massive amounts of numbers that Akash Baruch created different klichos in mazalos that all are working somehow are working to protect and the Jewish people. Are you saying that I forgot you? Hatishkach isha ula. Is ula, as Rashi says, is oiles for kabbanas. Would I forget all the karbanos of Pitri Chamim she crafted from the midbar? So the Jewish people say, Knesset says, Hoyel. So if there's no forgetting, they're not going to forget the ego. On that I say I forgot. Maybe you forget Kabbalah Satira. The certain Hebrews, right? That I won't forget. I will not forget.